Most countries are easy to describe. You say one word and everyone understands. Japan has never been one word. It is the country that looks at the impossible and starts building. That looks at the ancient and decides to keep it exactly as it is. That looks at the future and moves toward it faster than anyone else. And somehow holds all three at the same time. There is no other place on earth like this. What you are about to see will not change that. It will prove it. Shibuya Crossing, Tokyo. Every 90 seconds, the lights change. All of them, in every direction, simultaneously. The cars stop, and from every corner, people. 3,000 people crossing at once. From every direction, toward each other. Through each other, around each other. Without colliding, without stopping. In perfect chaos that is somehow not chaos at all. From above, it looks like a living thing, an organism. Cells moving in patterns too complex to plan, but too ordered to be random. Shibuya Crossing, the busiest pedestrian intersection on Earth. 2.4 million people pass through Shibuya Station every single day. At night, in rain, when the neon reflects on the wet asphalt, and 3,000 umbrellas open as the lights change. It is one of the most photographed moments in the world. Every 90 seconds, all day, all night, without stopping, without pause. Tokyo never pauses, and Shibuya Crossing is the proof. Naoshima Island, Japan. There is an island in Japan where the entire island is the exhibit. Not a museum on an island. The island itself, the beaches, the hills, the buildings, the fishing villages, the sea, is the art Naoshima in the Sato Inland Sea. 14 square kilometers that was a quiet fishing community until 1992, when someone decided to turn the whole thing into something the world had never seen. A giant yellow pumpkin covered in black dots sits at the end of a pier above the sea. By Yayoi Kusama, the artist who spent decades in a psychiatric institution by choice, because she said it was the only place she could fully focus. The pumpkin is not a decoration. It is a statement. The Chichu Art Museum is underground, entirely underground, buried in a hill above the sea, designed by Tadao Ando. Inside, only 3 artists, Monet, Turel, De Maria, each room built for one single work. The Monet room, 5 water lilies paintings, lit entirely by natural light through a glass ceiling. The light changes through the day. The paintings change with it. What you see at 9 a.m. is not what you see at 4 p.m. Same paintings, different paintings. TeamLab Planets, Tokyo. You take off your shoes, you roll up your trousers, and you step into water. Not a puddle, not a shallow pool. A room, a full room with a reflective floor covered in a few centimeters of water. And on every surface, the walls, the ceiling, the floor, flowers. Flowers falling, flowers blooming, flowers dissolving. An infinite field of flowers in every direction. Above you, below you, in the reflection beneath your feet. There is no edge, no wall that the eye can identify. The room appears to go on forever. This is TeamLab Planets, a digital art museum in Toyosu, Tokyo, where the artists say the boundary between the art and the visitor does not exist. You are not standing in front of the art. You are inside it. The art responds to your presence. Move through the flowers and they separate around you. Stay still, and they bloom more densely at your feet. In another room, you lie on your back on a mirrored floor and look up into an infinite sky of moving light. The sky changes, day to night, seasons shifting, stars appearing. The building is 10,000 square meters. The art is entirely digital. No canvas, no paint, no physical medium. Just light and code, and the decision to make a museum where the exhibits change every time you breathe. Japan invented the world's first video game, the Walkman, the QR code, the emoji. This is what happens when a culture that thinks in the future turns its attention to art. Tokyo Highway Interchange, Japan. From the ground, it's just a road. From above, it looks like the inside of a computer. Tokyo's highway interchanges are unlike anything built anywhere else on Earth. 5 levels of road stacked on top of each other. Curves within curves, loops within loops, each one carrying thousands of vehicles simultaneously, in every direction, at every hour. From above at night, the cars become light, red streams going one way, white streams going another, weaving between each other, never touching, never stopping. Looks like a circuit board, like a neural network, like something a computer designed for another computer to understand. But it was designed by human engineers, for human drivers, in a city of 37 million people that cannot afford to stop moving for a single second. Tokyo has 11,000 kilometers of roads within the city limits, more road per square kilometer than almost any city on Earth. And above those roads, more roads. And above those, more still. At 3 a.m., when the rest of the world sleeps, the interchanges of Tokyo are still full, still moving, still lit. A city that built its infrastructure the way it builds everything. To last forever, to work perfectly, to look from the right angle, like nothing else on Earth. Shinkansen plus Mount Fuji, Japan. It appears in the frame for less than 2 seconds. A white bullet, moving at 285 kilometers per hour, against a sky so blue it looks painted, with Mount Fuji rising 3,776 meters behind it. 2 seconds, and then it's gone. The Shinkansen, Japan's bullet train, first introduced in 1964, the year of the Tokyo Olympics, built to connect Tokyo to Osaka in time for the Games. The engineers were told to make the journey 4 hours faster than the existing rail connection. They made it 2 hours and 15 minutes total. Today, the Shinkansen network covers 3,041 kilometers, serves 400,000 passengers per day, and has operated for over 60 years without a single passenger fatality from a derailment or collision. Itsukushima Shrine, Miyajima Island. At high tide, the gate floats. Not on a boat, not on a platform. It simply stands in the water, its legs submerged, the red crossbeam hovering above the surface of the sea. The great torii of Itsukushima, 16 meters tall, built without nails, held in place by its own weight, 60 tons of camphor wood, sunk into the seabed. The original gate was built in 1168. The current structure dates to 1875, the 8th version of a gate that has stood in this water for over 800 years. Miyajima Island is one of Japan's 3 views, the 3 landscapes officially designated the most beautiful in the country. The island is sacred. For centuries, no one was allowed to be born on it. No one was allowed to die on it. Pregnant women and the dying were taken by boat to the mainland. Because the island belongs to the gods, and the living and the dying are too messy for sacred ground. Today, the island has 1,800 residents and 2 million visitors per year. And deer, the sacred deer of Miyajima, who wander through the shrine complex and eat tourist maps and sleep in the doorways of souvenir shops. At sunset, the torii turns vermilion. The water around its legs turns gold. The island darkens behind it. And the gate, which has been standing here since before the printing press existed, glows. Above the sea, in the sea, of the sea. Tokyo Skytree, Japan. 634 meters, the tallest tower in Japan, the second tallest structure on Earth. And from the observation deck at 450 meters, Tokyo spreads in every direction to the horizon. 37 million people. The largest metropolitan area on Earth. Visible all at once, in every direction, without end. The number 634 was chosen deliberately. In Old Japanese, 634 can be read as Musashi, the ancient name for the region where Tokyo now stands. A tower that carries the name of the land it stands on, in a number, in its height. The Skytree was built between 2008 and 2012 on a plot of land in Sumida, a district of eastern Tokyo, measuring only about half the size of the tower's footprint. Engineers designed it using the structural principles of a traditional 5-story pagoda. The pagoda's central pillar, the Shinbashira, moves independently of the outer structure during earthquakes, absorbing the shock, distributing the energy. Japan has the most earthquakes of any developed country. The Skytree was built to survive them all. At the base, a shopping complex, an aquarium, a planetarium, a postal office with the highest address in Japan. At 450 meters, a glass floor section. You look down through your feet at the city 450 meters below. At 634 meters, the second observation deck. On clear days, Mount Fuji is visible, 100 kilometers away. At night, the tower changes color between two lighting schemes. Iki, a pale blue representing traditional Edo elegance. Miyabi, a purple representing classical Kyoto refinement. A tower that carries two cities in its lights, every night. Hokkaido, Biei Blue Pond. The first time most people see it, they assume it has been edited. The color is wrong, not slightly wrong, completely wrong. Water is not this color. Water is blue or green or gray, depending on depth and sky and sediment. This water is electric blue, vivid blue. The blue of a swimming pool illuminated from below, the blue of a screen, the blue of something that does not occur in nature, except it does. Here, in Biei, in Hokkaido, in northern Japan. The blue pond of Biei was not planned. It was an accident. In 1988, to protect nearby towns from volcanic eruptions of Mount Tokachi, engineers built a series of barriers to contain potential mud flows. Water collected behind one barrier and turned blue. Because the water here contains aluminium hydroxide, a mineral released by the volcanic activity in the area. When sunlight hits aluminium hydroxide particles suspended in water, it scatters blue light. Specifically, only blue. And the dead trees standing in the blue water, silver birch and larch, killed when the pond was created, still standing, still white, still reaching up from beneath the surface. The contrast is absolute. Electric blue water, bone white trees, and in winter, when the snow comes, white ground, white trees, blue water. Yokohama Minato Mirai, Japan. Minato Mirai means future port in Japanese. They named it accurately. Yokohama, 30 minutes from Tokyo by train, Japan's second largest city, and on its waterfront, a district designed from scratch, on reclaimed land, from the port itself, with one brief. Make it look like the future. The landmark tower, 296 meters tall, the tallest building in Japan when it opened in 1993. The Cosmo Clock 21, a Ferris wheel 112 meters tall, built into a giant clock face. At night, It rotates slowly above the harbor in a full cycle of colored lights, each rotation marking the hour. The Yokohama Bay Bridge spans the harbor entrance. At night, lit in blue and white, reflected in the water below so precisely that the reflection looks more real than the bridge. Every major building faces the harbor, promenades along the water, restaurants above the water, and beyond it all, on clear days, Mount Fuji, white and perfect, behind the glass towers and the spinning wheel and the blue bridge. At night, when everything reflects in the still water of the bay, Minato Mirai looks like a city from a film that hasn't been made yet. Kinkaku-ji, Golden Pavilion, Kyoto. It is covered in gold, not gold paint, not gold-colored material. Real gold leaf. Applied to every exterior surface of the top 2 floors, pressed by hand, sheet by sheet. And it reflects in the pond below it so precisely that there appear to be 2 temples. One above the water, one below. Both equally gold, both equally perfect. Kinkaku-ji, the Golden Pavilion, in northern Kyoto. Originally built in 1397 as a retirement villa for the shogun Ashikaga Yoshimitsu. Converted to a Zen Buddhist temple after his death. In 1950, a 21-year-old monk who had been assigned to the temple set it on fire. He survived. The temple did not. At his trial, he was asked why. He said he was obsessed with its beauty, that he could not bear that something so beautiful existed, that burning it was the only way to make it his. Yukio Mishima wrote a novel about it, The Temple of the Golden Pavilion, one of the great novels of 20th century Japanese literature. The temple was rebuilt in 1955, exactly as it was, covered in gold leaf 5 times thicker than the original. Shimanami Kaido, Japan. Most bridges connect 2 points. Shimanami Kaido connects 6 islands, and the mainland, and another mainland. 70 kilometers of bridges and roads crossing the Seto Inland Sea between Onomichi in Hiroshima Prefecture and Imabari in Ehime Prefecture. 6 islands, 9 bridges, all of them crossable by bicycle. Not as an afterthought, not squeezed onto the side of a motorway, a dedicated cycling path, built into the structure of every bridge. Designed from the beginning for people on bicycles. Because in Japan, when you build a bridge across a sea, you build it for everyone. The view from the bridges is extraordinary. The Seto Inland Sea stretches in every direction. Hundreds of small islands, green and steep rising from flat water. Fishing boats below, ferries crossing between them. At sunset, the water turns gold. The bridges cast long shadows across the islands, and the cyclists, moving slowly across 70 kilometers of sea and sky, are the smallest things in the largest view. The Tatara Bridge, the most dramatic of the 9, 1,480 meters long, 89 meters above the sea. A cable-stayed bridge whose towers catch the evening light and hold it longer than anything around them. The route takes most cyclists 2 days, staying overnight on one of the islands, in a small inn, above the water. People come from across the world to cycle this route. Not because it is fast, not because it is flat, because there is no other place on Earth where you can cycle across an inland sea from island to island for 70 kilometers. On a path that was built for exactly this. Kenrokuen Garden, Kanazawa. The Japanese have a word, wabi-sabi. The beauty of imperfection, the beauty of impermanence, the beauty of something that is incomplete but perfect in its incompleteness. Kenrokuen is the opposite of wabi-sabi. It is complete, precisely complete, perfectly complete. Centuries of careful planning executed to the millimeter. One of the 3 great gardens of Japan, started in the 17th century, completed in the 19th. 200 years of continuous creation. The name means 6 attributes combined. The 6 attributes that ancient Chinese garden philosophy said no garden could ever possess simultaneously. Spaciousness and seclusion, artificiality and antiquity, abundant water and broad views. Kenrokuen has all 6. The oldest stone lantern in Japan stands here, 1,800 years old, still in its original position. In winter, the gardeners do something found nowhere else on Earth. They tie the pine trees with ropes. Ropes attached to poles at the center of each tree, running outward to every major branch, like a spider's web, like an umbrella of rope. To protect the branches from the weight of snow. Every year, every pine, by hand. The same way it has been done for 300 years. A garden that employs people whose only job is to hold up the branches through the winter. So that in spring, when the ropes come down, the tree looks exactly as it has always looked, as if the winter never happened. Osaka Castle, Skyline. In the middle of Osaka, surrounded on every side by glass towers and elevated highways and the machinery of a modern city, there is a castle. Built in 1583 by the warlord Toyotomi Hideyoshi, who wanted to unify Japan, who nearly succeeded, who built this castle as a symbol of what unification would look like. The castle was burned by Tokugawa forces in 1615, rebuilt, struck by lightning and burned again in 1665, rebuilt, bombed by American forces in 1945, rebuilt. The current structure, 1997, rebuilt again, with an elevator inside and a museum on every floor, and air conditioning. And outside the walls, the moat, the original 1583 moat. Still there, still full of water, the largest stone walls in Japan protecting a castle that has been destroyed and rebuilt 4 times. From the top floor, you look out in every direction at Osaka, one of the largest cities in Asia. 39 million people in the greater metropolitan area. And below you, the castle garden, cherry trees, plum trees, the moat. And beyond the garden, the towers, the highways, the cranes. A castle that refused to die in a city that refused to stop growing. Both still here. 400 years after the castle was first built. On the same ground, in the same city. Looking at each other across 4 centuries. Fushimi Inari Taisha, Kyoto. 10,000 gates, all red, all the same shape. Each one donated by a business or family in exchange for good fortune. Each one bearing the name of the donor on its back. The oldest gates at the base, several hundred years old. The newest, added last month. Still being added, still being donated. The tunnel is still growing. Fushimi Inari Taisha, a Shinto shrine on the wooded slopes of Mount Inari in southern Kyoto. The torii gates, the red gates, line the hiking trails that lead to the summit of the mountain. 4 kilometers to the top, through gates so densely packed that they form a corridor. A tunnel of red and orange where the light filters through the gaps and patterns on the path below. At the base, crowded. Thousands of tourists pressing through the first gates, photographing the same photograph that 10 million people photographed before them. But the crowds thin. The higher you go, the fewer people. By the time you reach the upper shrines, an hour and a half of climbing, you are almost alone. Just you and the foxes. The fox is the messenger of Inari, the god of rice, fertility, and industry. Stone foxes flank every sub-shrine on the mountain. Some wearing red bibs, some holding keys in their mouths. Some so ancient their features have been worn smooth by rain and time. At dusk, when the lanterns light and the tourists have gone, the gates turn amber, the stone foxes glow, and the mountain that has been sacred for over 1,300 years feels exactly as sacred as it always has. Odaiba, Tokyo. In the middle of Tokyo Bay, there is an island. Not a natural island, not something that was always there, an island that Tokyo built. From garbage, from landfill, from the debris of a city that needed more space and simply decided to make more land. Odaiba, a 4.6 square kilometer artificial island connected to central Tokyo by the Rainbow Bridge, a suspension bridge that turns red and green and white at night and reflects perfectly in the waters of the bay below. Stand on Odaiba and look across the water at the Tokyo skyline. And then look at what surrounds you. A full-scale working replica of the Statue of Liberty. A Ferris wheel that was once the largest in Asia. A shopping mall built to look like a European street. A TeamLab digital art museum where the floors and ceilings are infinite moving light. And Gundam, a robot, 18 meters tall, full scale, from the anime series that defined a generation of Japanese childhood. Standing in a plaza on an artificial island in Tokyo Bay, moving its head, turning its eyes, steam rising from its joints, as if it is real. Because in Japan, the line between what is real and what is imagined is thinner than anywhere else on Earth. At night, the Rainbow Bridge lights up. The Ferris wheel turns. The Tokyo skyline glows across the water. And the robot stands in the middle of all of it. An island that shouldn't exist, on a bay that didn't need it, built by a city that simply wanted more. Arashiyama Bamboo Grove, Kyoto. Bamboo is not a tree. It is a grass, the fastest growing plant on Earth. Some species grow 91 centimeters in a single day. You can watch it grow if you stand still long enough. And in Arashiyama, on the western outskirts of Kyoto, someone planted enough of it 800 years ago that it became a forest. A forest of stalks 30 meters tall, so dense that they block the sun completely. The light that reaches the path below is green, filtered, otherworldly, and the sound. When the wind moves through bamboo, it makes a sound unlike anything else in nature. A deep, hollow knock, a rustling that seems to come from every direction at once. Not leaves, not branches. Hollow stalks the width of a fist knocking against each other in the wind. The Japanese government has designated this sound as one of the 100 soundscapes of Japan that must be preserved. A sound protected by law. The path through the grove is 500 meters long. In the time it takes to walk it, the bamboo around you has grown approximately 2 centimeters. You can hear it if you're quiet enough. At dawn, before anyone else arrives, the grove is something else entirely. Light just beginning to filter through the green wall above. The path empty. The sound of bamboo the only thing moving. Not a forest, a living cathedral that has been growing for 800 years and will be growing long after everyone alive today is gone. Kawazu Nanadaru Loop Bridge, Japan. The mountain was too steep, the valley too deep, and the road had to get from the top to the bottom. So the engineers did what Japanese engineers do when faced with the impossible. They made a circle, the Kawazu Nanadaru Loop Bridge, on the Izu Peninsula in Shizuoka Prefecture. A road that descends a steep mountain valley by forming a complete 360-degree loop in the air. You enter the loop from the upper road, circle around, pass the same valley view twice, and exit on the lower road, having descended 45 meters in a single circle. From above, it looks like someone drew a ring in the mountains with a road. The bridge disappears into a tunnel on one side, emerges on the other. with the loop suspended between green peaks above a valley that drops far below. In spring, cherry blossoms surround the loop, pink against the gray concrete, against the green mountains, against the blue sky. In autumn, red and gold. Every color that Japan does better than anywhere else. A problem that needed a solution. An engineer who drew a circle and left something that from above looks less like infrastructure and more like art. Sakurajima Volcano, Kagoshima, Japan. It erupts every day, not occasionally, not seasonally, every day. Sometimes multiple times in a single day. Sakurajima, an active stratovolcano in Kagoshima Bay in southern Japan. One of the most active volcanoes on Earth. Over 1,000 eruptions per year. In some years, more than 1,100. And 680,000 people live directly across the bay from it. They go to work. They send their children to school. The children wear hard hats as part of their school uniform, not helmets, hard hats, in case of falling volcanic rock. Ash falls on the city regularly. There are ash collection points on street corners, the way other cities have recycling bins. Sakurajima was an island. Until 1914, when an eruption so massive that it lasted 2 weeks filled the strait between the island and the mainland with 5 billion cubic meters of lava. The island became a peninsula overnight. Today you can walk to the volcano, drive around it, stand at the edge of the observation deck and watch the summit actively smoking above you. Most volcanoes you read about. Sakurajima you watch every single day. Nachi Falls, Wakayama, Japan. 133 meters, the highest uninterrupted waterfall in Japan. Falling from a cliff in the ancient forests of the Kii Peninsula, into a pool below that has been considered sacred for over 1,000 years. Nachi Falls, in Wakayama Prefecture, part of the Kumano-Kodo, the ancient pilgrimage routes through the sacred mountains of the Kii Peninsula, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The waterfall is a god, not a symbol of a god, not dedicated to a god. The waterfall itself is a Shinto deity, Hiryu Gongen, and is worshipped as such. A small shrine stands at the base. Priests perform ceremonies at the water's edge, have been performing them for over 1,000 years. And behind the falls, the Seigantoji Pagoda, a 3-story red pagoda built on the cliff that faces the waterfall. The image, red pagoda against white falling water against green ancient forest, is one of the most reproduced images in Japanese art. Painted by woodblock artists for centuries, photographed by everyone who has ever stood at this viewpoint and understood what they were looking at. A country that looked at a waterfall and decided, this is not water. This is sacred. This deserves a name, a shrine, a god. And 1,000 years of devotion. Hiroshima Peace Memorial, Atomic Dome, Japan. at 8:15 a.m. on August 6, 1945. A bomb detonated 580 meters above the city of Hiroshima. The temperature at the epicenter reached 4,000 degrees Celsius. Everything within 2 kilometers was destroyed instantly. "70,000 people died in the first seconds. Another 70,000 in the months that followed. And one building survived. Not because it was strong, not because it was built differently, because the bomb detonated almost directly above it. The blast came straight down rather than sideways. The walls absorbed the vertical pressure and stayed standing. While everything around it was flattened. The Hiroshima Prefectural Industrial Promotion Hall, built in 1915 by a Czech architect, now known simply as the Atomic Bomb Dome, the Genbaku Dome. The Japanese government made a decision that divided opinion for decades. Leave it exactly as it was. Don't repair it. Don't demolish it. Leave the skeleton of the dome. Leave the broken walls. Leave the twisted iron. As a witness, as a warning, as the only building on Earth that has been officially preserved in the state of its destruction. Today it stands in the middle of a modern city. Hiroshima rebuilt. Completely rebuilt, one of the most livable cities in Japan, with parks and restaurants and a baseball team and 1.2 million people. And in the middle of all of it, the dome, still broken, still standing, exactly as it was at 8:16 a.m. on August 6, 1945, 1 minute after. 20 places, 1 country, a robot on an artificial island, a train that passes a sacred volcano in 2 seconds, 10,000 red gates climbing a mountain for 13 centuries, a temple burned by obsession rebuilt in gold, an island that became a museum, a bridge across 6 islands built for bicycles, a castle that survived everything, a port built from scratch on reclaimed water, a pond that turned blue by accident, a highway that from above looks like a circuit board, a crossing where 3,000 people move in perfect chaos every 90 seconds, a road that solves a problem by making a full circle in the sky, a volcano that erupts every single day, a waterfall that Japan decided was a god, and a broken dome standing in the middle of a rebuilt city, the only building on Earth preserved exactly in the moment of its destruction. Japan never chose between ancient and modern, between sacred and technological, between what was and what is coming. It chose everything at the same time. Subscribe, because Japan still has more than we have shown you.